Hello, I'm Anthony Zeiker, the creator of the CSI franchise and executive producer of CSI, Miami and New York. Welcome to our brand new sets here in CSI New York on the 35th floor of Midtown Manhattan. We have a heck of a tour for you. Let's go. The first stop of our tour for CSI New York essentially is Mac Taylor's office, played by Gary Sinise. Here we go. As you can see, inside this office is where it all begins and it all ends. This is Mac Taylor's actual nerve center. As you can see in the background, he's a consummate American, he's a Marine, and he essentially is the boss, responsible for 8 million people in New York City for crime solving. All the different clippings in Mac Taylor's office that sort of haunt him, that are important to him, he actually keeps in this tack board, which is very important to the integrity of the show. Also, as we keep going to this far wall here, you can see we continue with the USO coins that are very important to Detective Taylor, and also some wartime photography when he was a Marine. Now, undoubtedly, the most amazing lab we have in this set is the audiovisual room. Now, we can actually walk through these walls in the magic of television and show you. In this room is the AV room. AV stands for audiovisual. In here, we have multi-million-dollar equipment, as you can see. All the amazing graphics to perform psycholinguistic analysis, surveillance analysis. If you look down, the mainframe is colored with our quintessential color of blue, and it almost looks like you could step on it with my foot and fall right through. But this really is, you can cut an album in this particular lab. You can really scrutinize high octane analysis from Super Bowl faces and footage to surveillance, to anything audio or visual in this particular department, and it's state of the art and second to none and very, very expensive. So if you're a criminal, watch out, because we're gonna catch you. I've just put my fingerprint inside the system and it's no ID, so I'm okay. Welcome to the Trace Lab. This is the beginning point of all trace analysis. We might take a coat here that may have been involved in a murder from either a victim or a suspect. Of course, I'd have gloves on at this point, but this is just a little walkthrough. We use a light magnifier as we begin to scrutinize and just use our eyes to look for any sort of trace analysis in terms of blood or hair fibers. And if you look very closely down here, I seem to have spotted something. It looks like an Emmy. I'm just kidding. But this is Trace Analysis Lab, and this is where it all begins. Inside of this layout room, there's also very specific machinery. If we actually scanned a picture of a pipette cover, a small plastic cover, took a picture, scanned it from here, input the data, that would send a message over here, what we call a Z printer, one of my favorite machines in the lab. What the Z printer does is takes the scan of the item and actually replicates it and makes another entity of it. Let's watch. Of course, it's not fully active right now, and this is not the real mechanism. It'd be a situation where after about a half an hour, you could reach in and pull out a pipette cover. Now, the real one would be blue, would be a clay-based. That's basically taking a picture and having the machine make you a pipette cover or even a bullet. And sometimes for logistical analysis, this becomes very, very important. Welcome to the Trace Lab of CSI New York. This is where all the chemical and biological components are analyzed for crime solving. We have amazing LCD screens at a touch of a button. We make our way back over here. As you can see, we have different colored beakers and chemicals, and a lot of it's just water with colored water and actually microscopes. This is all real equipment. This is millions and millions of dollars of FTIRs, gas chromatograph mass spectrometers, and come to think of it, the ironic thing is a lot of these computers and analysis are 10 to 15 years old. They've been donated by various departments throughout the country, but we add some bells and some whistles and some lighting structures and it feels it all comes alive. And here's my final question for you. This is a gas chromatograph mass spectrometer. Can you spell that? Because I certainly can't. But this is the workhorse of the lab, and a lot of the analysis that solves crime comes from this very machine that was born over 30 to 40 years ago. So all this talk about chemical analysis and gas chromatograph mass spectrometers is making me hungry. This is our break room. We actually designed this room to have the CSIs sit, have lunch, have a cup of coffee or a soda, and really talk about the case at hand. And people always ask me, is everything in CSI real? Well, everything in CSI New York is real, even the fruit, down to the fruit. And it's about lunchtime, so I think I'll have a bite of the apple. It's rubber. I shouldn't do that. So this is the break room. We have a snack here. And now let's go take a look at the bridge. After a nice lunch as a CSI, sometimes you like to take a look outside of the beautiful New York view. This is actually a $125,000 curtain for the Brooklyn Bridge. And if you look very closely near the water, you'll see tiny little bits of cellophane that are crinkled. By adding a fan, it gives the illusion of moving water. And again, the magic of television. This is the bullpen for CSI New York. Just dropping off some evidence here. This is an area where all the CSIs, Stella and Danny Messer and Lindsay will hang out. This is primarily this side of the office, is Stella Bonacera's office. As you can tell from the various artifacts, she's a world traveler. She actually picked this specific piece up here from the Orient. It has a beautiful little story. I also bought one of these for Quentin Tarantino when he actually directed the CSI finale last year that I co-wrote with my partners. This is called a wishing pot. Essentially what it is you purchase it. If you lift this up like this, it comes with a little piece of paper. And in the Chinese tradition, if you actually write down a wish on this piece of paper and put it back in the pot just like so, if the wish comes true, you're instructed to actually thank yourself and take this vessel and pass it on to somebody else. Nice piece of lore for the old artifact there. And this is Stella's office. Welcome to the Coroner's Lab and Autopsy. This is our brand new Coroner's Lab in Midtown Manhattan. You can see the fluorescent blue wash basins, which are very cool. The ice cold state-of-the-art autopsy tables. If you look up here, this is where water comes out. Of course, there's no real water because it's just a set. So if I just hit this, water actually came out of this. So I guess it is real. There's always a trick here in CSI New York. As we go into the main autopsy area, you can thoroughly appreciate the state-of-the-art, brand new perforated tables. They have the circular, which actually sucks in infusion, sucks in blood and sucks in water to avoid any type of contamination, with an amazing circular ceiling up top. And as we make our way around here past the scale and past the LCD screen, people always ask me, Anthony, where do you keep the dead bodies? Well, let me show you. The body is cool at 67.1 degrees. Take a look. I'm alive, just kidding. This is Anthony Zucker for the CSI franchise saying so long. Hope you all live long and prosperous and stay tuned. Goodbye.